Well, the music stopped. And I don't know where church is, so welcome everybody to the Gospel of Comics. I am your trusty co-host, Ayrton McCartney, and with me at the moment is our not unpaid intern, RuneKnight. How you doing, buddy?
Howdy, hi.
I have no idea what happened to the music.
The boss seems to have muted himself, so I can only assume he locked himself in the not office with cocaine and is just, having a giant snort, and he'll be along by and by.
That's what I assume too.
Mm.
So, are you guys talking about my cocaine abuse?
Yes.
Yes, we're talking about how you beat cocaine mercilessly and with great intent to win with a wiffle bat.
I mean,
what has cocaine ever done to you, a member of the people of color community?
The trans people of color community, don't you forget it.
Yeah.
Damn straight.
Clearly, cocaine has only ever improved the communities it's interacted with.
There is a sixth dimension beyond that which is known to man. A multiverse as vast as eternity, as timeless as the Infinity Gems. It is the middle ground between the big two and the indie publishers, between sci-fi and mysticism, and it lies between the pages of the reader's imagination. At the summit of entertainment, the dimension of comics, where a humble service is held. We call this service the Gospel of Comics.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Gospel of Comics. I am your host, The Church of Failure, and with me as always are my trusty co-host, Ayrton McCartney and RuneKnight. How are you guys doing this week?
Oh, is today the day?
Today's the day.
Have I been promoted? I've been promoted! I'm promoted! I get no pay increase.
You get no pay increase. Actually, you get a pay decrease. You owe me money now.
Damn!
Yeah, you get a 12% pay decrease.
Man, screw this economy.
Fucking COVID. Anyway.
Thanks, Obama.
That's right.
Oh, pretty good. I had to be up early to play fucking Christmas music this morning. So
What kind of bullshit is that? It's not time to play Christmas music yet.
I mean, it is the 13th. It is the middle of the month. It is, in fact, close enough. You can start the Christmas.
The week of Christmas. You can play Christmas music the week of Christmas.
No, I agree. But it's okay.
Sir, you cannot stop me from listening to Christmas-themed metal any time of the year.
This is fair.
No, it's fine, because the people I play for are cool, and I can do whatever I want. So I'm doing, like, violin, bow, guitar shit, and, like, like David Gilmour type guitar solos over like the main melody of songs, and like AC/DC style guitar riffs on other songs. It's fine.
The kind of shit you should have been discussing on Music Talk today.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. You guys left me to my own devices.
Successful.
There was no zombies to kill. There was no music talk. I was just sitting here drinking whiskey, trying to figure out what to do with my life.
I mean, clearly, you were preparing for the subject of today's podcast.
No, I did that yesterday.
Well, yeah.
I did it Friday.
Do you want a fucking cookie?
Yeah.
I mean, kind of.
You're both pretty.
Hey, take that shit back.
I've never prepared that early for a show. Come on.
So, RuneKnight, why don't you introduce the people as to what the subject matter for today's show is, and we will jump into it.
You made us dig.
I mean, if they can't see the screen, obviously,
Well, I mean, do we have it? Do we have it up on a screen?
We do have it up on the screen.
Neat. So yeah, today's consignment to hell is to thumb through the 2013 Morbius the Living Vampire. Being that I am a gothy nerd and a loser, and a masochist, I have always been a fan of Marvel's supernatural or occult send-ups, going all the way back to House of Mystery, which used to be a horror-themed anthology series they had. Don't
loop good comic books in with this. I don't think
in the late 80s, early 90s, the
don't
McFarlane
make me
era
cut somebody.
of Spider-Man, we had an event called the it was a demonic invasion, and I actually forget the name, but and that was when we had the introduction of both a super team called the Midnight Suns, and some well-known versions of characters that are now famous, and most notably Blade.
The Midnight Suns consisted of what? Blade, Morbius, Venom, and Ghost Rider?
Not Venom. Venom was a guest in a couple of books, but it was
Okay.
Ghost Rider separate. It was Ghost Rider when separate from Johnny Blaze.
Okay.
So it was Johnny Blaze and Ghost Rider as separate people. Blade, Morbius. What the fuck's that character's name? He was played by Ryan Reynolds in Blade 3. Hannibal King.
Oh yeah.
And at one point they had I want to say Doc Strange, but they told Doc Strange to stick it, and they walked out on him, and instead followed a second tier character named Moldred. But the pertinent thing is
Darkhold was part of this series too, right?
Yeah, that was the thing. The invasion was the Darkhold. Okay. But that event was my introduction to Morbius. And Morbius had his own short run, 12-issue comic. It was really good. So I've been a Morbius fan ever since. And, with the movie in
Until
creative
today.
limbo, on the way. No, man, no. Opinions will be had, sir. But because there's a movie on the way, I was like, well, of all the things we can review, let's look at Morbius from a couple of years ago. Because the newest Morbius run is garbage and died after 3 issues. This one at least has some footing.
This one at least made it to 10, which was kind of the standard for comic books back in the day.
Then why do we only read 9 issues?
What?
Then why do we only read 9 issues?
No, they're 10, aren't there?
They're 10?
Pretty
I
sure
only had 9.
Let me double check.
No, you're right. It is 9. My bad.
Okay. I thought I missed an issue.
Well, no. I mean, arguably, you could say, having read it, that it probably could have used a 10th issue as a rounding it out. They could have taken a little more page time.
They probably could have taken off 9 of the issues, and it would have been fine.
I mean, would you like to begin with your opinions, McCartney, or shall we actually address what's in the book?
Since you suggested it, why don't you introduce us to the topic and how it's introduced?
All right. Since it's 9 issues, I'm not going to go through each individual issue individually.
Correct.
Morbius the Living Vampire 2013 is given the informal short name Morbius in a Hoodie. Morbius, a Greek hematologist who was involved in a science accident in the 60s and 70s of classic Spider-Man, was made a living vampire. That is, he has all the powers of a vampire, but science-based. And the
let's be honest here.
Horrific bloodlust.
Most of our audience is going to remember Morbius from the Spider-Man the Animated Series, where he fought the 6-armed Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and he was an upper class, rich boy scientist that courted Felicia Hardy in the animated series.
But he still had a disease.
Well, he's a notable villain in Spider-Man and Blade lore because of his vampire status.
Yeah,
which doesn't make sense to me because Blade hated vampires, and Morbius is more akin to what Blade is than what a real vampire is.
Well, the trick is Morbius is so desperate to heal his condition that he sometimes makes bad decisions that do not consider the consequences or how they will negatively affect others. So he does villainous things sometimes, but he thinks his desperation justifies it.
Did you read any of the backstory into how he ended up in the raft before he escaped for this series?
I did not, because that would have involved reading Superior Spider-Man, and I don't hate myself.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Excuse me a second.
Yeah, no problem. Ayrton, what were your thoughts on this when you initially when you started reading?
In a moment.
When I started reading it, I I wanted to take a walk down the street, not across it.
Oh, okay. All right.
God, the writing is just so. That's the biggest thing. Like, the art's kind of sloppy, but it's kind of standard Marvel. Early 2010s.
To me, I feel like that the covers lead you into a false sense of security. Like, everybody sees the cover on screen right now, and it's beautiful. This is beautiful cover work. Oh my god. And then you move into the actual comic book, and this is what you get. You get emo vampire Morbius. And I'm just like, this is standard comic fare. It's not bad, but it's not great either. It's the same. I think the interior artist should be, challenged to do the cover as well, so that you know what you're buying into.
I'd love it if the interior book was the gothic horror experience that the cover suggests.
Right.
Right.
Because the cover doesn't even give you a feel of what the actual book is going to be like, right?
Yeah.
Like, the actual book is a much more feel-good story than any of the cover actually implies.
Which really brings us back to what's the thesis of this book. The thesis of this book is that Morbius, having escaped from the raft during the Superior Spider-Man period, when Spidey was literally capturing every villain in New York and throwing them in prison, flees to a urban ghetto called Brownsville to hide out and wait out the cops while trying to figure out his next moves. And in so doing is a heroic hobo.
So the Superior Spider-Man was captured, or the Superior Spider-Man captured Morbius during his stay trying to cure himself in Horizon Labs using DNA samples from the corpse of Billy Connors, the son of Doc Kirk Connors, the Lizard. So there was some really dark shit that happened before this series.
Which itself is extra weird when you consider that previously during Civil War, Morbius had actually signed up. He had totally taken the excuse of a free pardon and support.
Yeah, only to dig up the corpse of Doc Connors' fucking kid.
Yeah.
But
they also never followed up on that.
That's
shit.
one thing that gives, that's why I asked you the question, and I wanted to segue it until you got back. But I remember what happened after Civil War, and Morbius actually is responsible for one of my favorite things that ever happened in Marvel Comics, Frankencastle.
Frankencastle?
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's.
But then he completely destroyed that goodwill by digging up the body of a dead child.
Okay, so before we get into the book proper, Morbius is like one of the redheaded stepchildren of Marveldom.
Yeah, they don't know what the fuck to do with him ever.
Yeah, he's a popular character. He appears in other books and is often in really good books, but different writers decide to mischaracter him in a wide range of mechanisms for no discernible reason, and they never have any continuity.
Right.
Because, in Frankencastle, he has that bloodstone thing. They never talk about where he got it. They never talk about how long he's had it. They never talk about why it's affecting him the way it is. He just had it, and it was making him be an asshole.
Right. Oh, Dan Gams is... Church, your mic is staticky. It sounds hairy.
I'm not
somebody check the stream for that?
Yeah, I'll check it.
Okay.
But the thing is in Frankencastle, Jack Russell, the werewolf by night, is also there, right? Well, in Frankencastle, Jack Russell's a big dumb idiot with a fur problem, but in his own books, Jack Russell is a hero in his own right with his own complexities, and it's you can tell a writer who loves the material and a writer who doesn't actually care about the material or doesn't care about the secondary characters, just sort of picking and choosing the parts he likes.
Right.
And that's actually why I was like, we should check out Morbius. I would say this is a troubled gem. I'm not gonna try and stand here and say that it is perfect, but I am gonna say that there are parts of it that are amazing in terms of characterization, in terms of storytelling. Some of the art is not bad.
It does some
and then
really
there are things that are just painful. Yeah, and then there are things that are absolutely painful and hilarious.
Right. Dan, if you're still around, how does that sound, buddy? I removed my noise compressor from OBS. Anyway, go ahead, Rune.
I mean, that's it. We're about to take a walk in
the fucking stream playback on my phone is being a dickhead. Is only going back like 10 seconds.
Okay. Well, in any event, I deleted the noise compressor. I'll just keep deleting filters until it works. But
that's probably part of it.
The first thing that I'm looking at is we have a 9-issue comic book series that essentially starts at the end or the middle, which is never a good time. Like, let's be honest. When you start jumping, because you have so many repeated parts of the story, like you get 22 pages an issue, God. And every issue seems to repeat the last half of the last book. So, like Ayrton said jokingly earlier, you could remove 9 issues and this would have been much better. Well, you could have literally removed 5 issues from this story and told 2 stories in the amount of book.
Well, can we at least nominally agree, since we have it up, that even though it starts in media res, the first issue is solid?
No, I think the first issue is the worst.
Why do you think the first issue is the worst?
The dialogue, that opening dialogue, I had to sit there essentially with a taser up to my nuts and to force myself to read it. And if I stopped reading, I would have to electrocute my ball sack. It was so bad. It's so awkward and clunky. It's like it reminds me of like, I don't know if you guys did this, but I've always, been like into performing theater, playing music, all that stuff. And me and my friends would make stupid like sketch videos and stuff, kind of like Monty Python. Well, and thinking back on it, this is the type of dialogue we wrote when we were like 13.
Well,
thinking we were being clever and
fair,
funny.
Ayrton, I think you're not taking into account that this is 2013. You haven't been exposed, I don't think, to a lot of modern day Marvel comics.
No.
So honestly, this was like a breath of fresh air after reading some of that dog shit.
Yeah, I mean,
are you fucking serious?
If you want to hurt yourself, either read a new book just because, or specifically read anything.
Go read 2 issues of Miss Marvel and tell me this isn't genius in comparison.
Yeah.
I guess it's all relative, but no, I hated this first issue or the first half.
It wasn't great dialogue. This definitely isn't Stan Lee's like best writing or anything like that. Like, this isn't comparable. This isn't like Civil War-ish writing, but let's look at who's involved in the writing on this book. Okay, let's go back a couple of pages.
Who are these assholes?
Well, that's one thing. Okay, you have Keatinge,
I think it's in the last page.
Elson, and Fabula are the creators on this book.
Who?
Exactly. These aren't like Dan Slott books. These aren't, John Romita Jr. artwork level books. This is an entry level book. And this is honestly why I don't have a problem with it just being a little bit clunky. Because for what it was, even though it was a little bit clunky, it embodies the idea that I've been saying for 2.5 years now needs to be happening. You don't know the names of these people. So what you're doing, you're putting them on a book that very few people are going to read off the top. Okay? This isn't something that I would have picked up if Rune hadn't suggested it, because I have no interest in Michael Morbius as a character. He exists to progress the plot line of characters like Spider-Man and Blade. He's basically a Lizard the Second, or a foil to our friend Blade. But Michael Morbius as a standalone character doesn't really interest me. He's done some cool shit, and he's a great, add-on character. Like, if you were doing, the Monstropolis series that Marvel did, Morbius could definitely show up in a cameo in every issue, and I'd be fine with it. He could even be the lead character, and I'd be fine with it as long as he had a supporting cast. He didn't have a supporting cast in this book. Like, you might say that he did not.
They attempted to give him one.
Right.
I'll say that.
But, you know, an annoying Robin-esque type figure is not a supporting cast.
That's true.
And everything was just so fast and loose. But anyway, with the first issue, we start off, Morbius is on the run because he's escaped from the raft after being captured by Spider-Man. And he runs to an old associate, and that associate tells him that the only place that he's going to be able to safely hide out is a small city not even city, a small, outskirts called Brownsville.
Which I kept misreading in my head as Brownstown, because there's a small town here in Michigan that I used to go to a lot when I was a construction delivery driver called Brownstown. It kept throwing me off.
The actual a plot hole that I actually find in this series is you said this guy's an old associate. I don't actually think this guy's an old associate. I have no idea how this guy knows Morbius. Morbius literally comes out of a lake, runs into the guy, and the guy just accepts Morbius is a dude coming out of a lake or out of the ocean.
Pale white skin and blood red eyes.
Yeah. And he's like, sure, hobo helps hobo. I get that. But then later in the set, it's revealed. Real. But later in the set, it's revealed that this guy was a plant specifically to lure Morbius.
We'll get to that shit.
That's the thing. It's like, how exactly is this guy going to be on the right park bench at the right time to catch Morbius when Morbius decides to skip the raft?
You don't understand. The no-name villain, the Rose, actually had people from all walks of life along every park bench outside of the raft.
Right, he's that villainously brilliant. They were it was actually a fishing trip. They were just scooping up every villain that escaped and decided to swim ashore.
Right.
Catch and release.
But what I was going to actually ask when you were talking about the dialogue were you talking about specifically all the dialogue or just specifically the second half of the dialogue? Because I don't have a problem with Michael Morbius's internal narrative where he's thinking things. But I will straight up say that the dialogue between himself and this hobo is freaking wrong because the hobo has no voice of his own. He's just an info dump for the author about Brownsville.
Right. Well, there's that opening bit which we go to find out as we progress further into this issue that it's him talking to some bitch that I already forgot her name, who's also a hobo. That kind of the expository dialogue kind of setting the scene for this. It was just so bad. It was so hard to read. Was it 4 pages of that opening expository dialogue to get the scene set?
Well, I always wanted to know because that character in question doesn't actually appear until the next issue. I want to say
her name is Becky.
But I've always been curious. Yeah, I've always been curious if Becky Barnes is an actual relative of Bucky Barnes that I just was not familiar with, or if they invented that shit because they didn't want to use Bucky and make Bucky a hobo.
Well, if that were the case, then it would have to have been a descendant of one of Bucky's male lineage, and I don't know that they've ever gone deep into that.
It's possible.
I think that they just like the alliteration of Bucky Barnes and Betty Barnes. And
comics have always liked alliteration.
Well, it sells.
But I mean, no, I'm just straight up saying, it's like, I think that character is supposed to be Girl Bucky and fill the niche of cheerleader cum sounding board. And it's not even a bad idea in the sense that Morbius traditionally is a isolated individual, often hanging out with other medical professionals. It's good that he actually talks to a human being he's not chewing the face of.
Well, one thing that a lot of this story revolves around is Morbius being a hobo in Brownsville. And it's one of those feel-good martyrdom type storylines where oh, well, I've been shoved into this situation, and these people around me all need help because there's this bad guy a la Noah Sinclair, the spiky-haired, the spiky blue-haired, face-piercing, type asshole. Let me get a picture of him up on screen. The first issue, it just kind of looks like he's just this random asshole that Morbius is involved with trying to fight. As you come to find out in issues 2 and 3, he's like the ringleader of the entire town of Brownsville, and all the crime goes through him. He's the guy. So Morbius saves his life, and then, he gets he gets his chest blown out via shotgun by this guy. And then Morbius does his Morbius thing and chews this guy's neck off. And then this guy's girlfriend is just like, you gotta save him! If you don't save him, I'm gonna kill you! And he's just like, don't you realize he just shot me in the chest with a shotgun and that's why he got his throat ripped out? Fuck it, I'll try and save him.
I mean, we're conflating a couple of different bits of the story, but you are correct. It's like, I will not deny that on some level, it would just be better if Noah St. Germain was just one asshole among many and not the ringleader of a small-time mob that's holding stuff together, because Morbius does not actually have any impetus to do any of the good deeds he does besides the basic idea that he thinks he should be a good guy, which is nice in the sense that we want to be able to cheer for him, but I mean, at the same time, he's super powered. If he honestly wanted to, he could have killed his way out of that entire room and walked away and had a sandwich.
So there is a Rebecca Barnes who is the daughter of Bucky, but this is a different character.
Oh, okay.
So,
apparently they just
two
used
Becky Barneses
in the Marvel universe. Sexy.
Yes.
So let's talk about Noah St. Germain and why he was an ineffective character. Okay. And I'm not shitting on the book you picked. All in all, I would give real quick, Ayrton, if you had to give this book a rating, what would you give it?
Are we doing 1 out of 10?
Yeah. All said and done, start to finish, you read all 9 issues in one sitting. What's your rating?
I would give it a solid 5 to 5.5.
Okay. I would go so far as to say it's a 7 out of 10. The art is consistent, even if it's not fantastic, it's consistent, which is the most important thing to me. The storytelling is actually halfway decent. You get a decent introduction to who Michael Morbius is if you've never actually seen him before. You get a decent start-to-finish story, even if it does jump all over the place, and it does feel like padding in certain points. The story does have a beginning, a middle, and an end, regardless of how predictable. And there are some nice moments in it, like the Monstropolis cameo is my favorite part. Let's not be...
Yeah, mistaken. Kid, I'm a Dracula.
Yeah, exactly. The wholesome martyrdom of the whole thing, it kind of made me cringe a little bit, but that's a trope in superhero storytelling that you have to accept. The bad guy that doesn't want to be bad anymore, that embraces his badness and counteracts it with the goodness of others. That's a trope, but it was played well here. So I'd give it a 7 out of 10 as a whole. Individual issue-wise, there are some 2 out of 10s in this bunch. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah. So, overall, the framework of the story, I thought was a good premise. I just thought the execution was terrible. If that makes sense.
Right.
If the... let's say, just because I can't think of another Marvel writer current off the top of my head at the moment, if Hickman were to write something like this, I could see it bumping it up to a 7 from my scale.
Well, if Hickman was writing something like this, it'd be 300 issues long, so...
Well, yeah. There's that.
Now, let me get back to my original point. Rune, did you have a rating to throw in on this? What would you rate this book?
My rating, entirely independent, Ayrton, before you jump bad, I would in fact say it's a 7. If I had to gradient it, where do I put it? The art's consistent. and I feel that characterization is sloppy, but the actual story itself, like the genre fiction this is fitting into, is solid. And I think that if we have to say, what character stands out best, I like the interaction between Morbius and the Rose specifically.
I'm getting to
Morbius
the Rose, but yes.
Morbius trying to be a good guy and then having that style of villain with that motivation is solid. I liked what was trying to be done, but yes, I will concur that if we're going to start talking about how Noah Saint Germain was not an effective addition, it's literally because he doesn't quite fill the niche of the tool he's supposed to be. But he is a tool.
Well, he is a tool. Now, the Rose actually did exist prior to this whole fiasco. I don't know if either one of you guys know this.
Oh, I'm 100% familiar with Richard Fisk.
Okay.
I was gonna Google it, but then I forgot.
But that's the thing. Part of the reason that I really liked this was the idea that other antagonists could take an identity, either a fallen identity or an identity that is not as commonly known, and franchise it.
Well,
the idea that there are multiple Roses is cool.
It's very similar to the Red Hood identity in DC.
Well, you also have Ben Kingsley, not Ben Kingsley. It's Kingsley, but it's not Ben. Is now franchising Hobgoblin while hanging out in a third world resort.
Right, but the Rose is very much a type of pseudonym that multiple people use as a crime boss or whatever. Now, we don't know exactly which Rose this is. Because the known Roses have been Richard Fisk, Sergeant Bloom, Jacob Conover, and Philip Hayes. And we don't get an exact identity on this Rose, but it is just a Rose. Now, here's the problem. You come to find out in issue like 6 or 7 that the financial backer of this entire endeavor, which is to basically emancipate the people of Brownsville from the criminal underworld, just in time to destroy the city of Brownsville and rebuild it. Like it's a very convoluted plan, right?
Yeah, can we just say that? Can we all agree that the villain's plan and motivations make no sense?
Well, no, it actually does make sense.
It makes
just
sense.
That
it's just executed so poorly.
It's been done in other books with language that was more clear, because we were
fair.
Well in the post Civil War setting, you had Wolverine as an Avenger, which was always retarded, right? But in the book where he was running around being an Avenger, his thing was he went after a corporation. I want to say it was called Bulldog. That their thing was they got the contracts for cleaning up super messes.
Right.
And they had actually been creating with influence situations where superheroes would fight more because they got those big premiums for cleaning up super messes, and they were not just profiteering but trying to continue to facilitate Civil War fights, getting superheroes to fight superheroes and be big dumb idiots and destroy a bunch of stuff. In this context, what our villains are doing is they're weakening the criminal underworld so it can't curtail them, and then basically destroying real estate so they can get the contracts to rebuild that real estate and be on the ground floor to seize whatever criminal influence, cartel-based wealth there is to get. It's basically the plot for RoboCop.
Are
you talking the entire about... point of well, because remember, OCP
are you talking about damage control?
Nuke Detroit. Yeah, damage control.
Okay. I was about to say their mascot was a bulldog.
Yeah, no, that's why I remembered it. But But in RoboCop, OCP was going to nuke Detroit, then build Delta City, and then the criminal bad guy in RoboCop 1 was going to get the preferred treatment from the corporation to provide all the drugs and illicit entertainment for the construction workers and the newly moved in families for Delta City.
To be fair, it's not a horrible idea.
Yeah, so that's basically what's going on in Morbius, and they've just selected Morbius of all the potential failed superhero / anti-villains they could to facilitate it.
I don't know. I thought it just felt so contrived and like shoehorned in like in the last 2 issues.
The part that shoehorned in is the identity of who's actually behind it.
Well, that's what I was getting at. Like, you have Noah St. Germain, who is this engineered badass that was supposed to consolidate the crime underworld. Noah St. Germain is taken down by Morbius in cahoots with the plan of the Rose, who calls Morbius a pawn, where we think that the Rose is like the big mastermind. And I couldn't help but get the feeling of like this is an owl / tombstone / hammerhead type plot, kingpin type thing, which is a fitting place for the Rose, who's always trying, like Richard Fisk was always trying to live up to his father's legacy or whatever. But it wasn't a Richard Fisk plot. And you have this whole contrived thing only to find out that he's also a pawn on the board from none other than, drumroll please.
Do you want an actual drum roll? Because
yes,
yes, give me a real drum roll. It is none other than dun dun dun, the father of Michael Morbius.
See? So contrived.
Like, there's no point. There's no point in introducing the father of Michael Morbius. He's never been important in any story ever. You had to shoehorn him in. You had to add a backstory where his mother kept his father away from him in this comic book. You had to add that backstory.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. 2 things. 1, this got canceled after 9 issues. I don't think it was ever a plan.
It was because of shit like that. It was because of shit like that it got canceled after 9 issues.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I think that the guys who were writing it thought they were going to get more book, and they would have continued to explore this question, right? And now they're not going to get it.
For good reason, because it was bad.
But the other thing is like, if it was revealed that this was like the Baron von Stucker, would we not be just as aggravated because, oh, look, everything goes back to Nazis? It has nothing to do with the fact that it's Morbius' father that makes it contrived. It's the fact that the main antagonist of this book should be the Rose. Like, Noah St. Germain being
the Rose should have been the end-all be-all villain. Like, that would have made an acceptable ending to this. And it actually would have played out better, because the ending of this, where the Rose just invited Morbius in to essentially kill him, and gave his assistant his helicopter as a severance package, it actually worked in this scenario, right? Like, it actually worked well, but we already knew that there was some higher power at play. Like, there's always that next level of criminal, and the fact that they were having a discussion over tablet and Morbius didn't recognize his own father, like, what are we doing, right? What are you doing with your life and your storytelling?
Now, I think we should segue out of this and segue into the fact that we have our favorite beret-wearing Mexican has joined the show.
Oh, has he?
He has. Dillard, are you there, buddy?
Can you hear me when I speak?
We can hear you when you speak.
We hear the buckler.
Well, then I guess I better speak, right? Thanks for
Have
having
you,
me, guys.
Have you ever read Morbius 2013?
To even be here. No, I don't read gay shit.
I get forced to.
I'll stick to my YA novels. Thank you very much.
Are you eagerly awaiting the release of I Am Not Starfire?
Oh, he's already got a pre-ordered copy.
He got the cover tattooed on his ass.
No,
I can see Dillard being into
Sorry,
chubby
on your testicles,
emo
my
chicks.
that's the only chicks that are into me, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you
Not
gotta,
emo chicks. You know the big fat white ladies that that wear chunky jewelry with like natural stones like topaz and
yeah.
things like that.
See, I can't
You
disagree
can't
because
get enough of me, dude.
I can't disagree because I'm a Queen fan, and Queen tells us that fat bottom girls make the world go round.
They do.
They do.
It's
Somebody's
true.
gotta make the food. You know?
These are true.
Exactly.
How do you think we got such a banging ass
Say,
empanadas?
you want to be happy for the rest of your life? Make an ugly fat woman your wife.
That head game's on
I mean,
point.
Point.
I mean, it's true. My father is dead. He loved my mother, and he was happy. So he was happy for the rest of his life.
Yeah, you don't want no crazy skinny broad over there causing all kinds of trouble in your house.
Did you just your mom yourself?
No, I'm just saying my mom.
No, my mom was a terrible person.
No, I'm just saying my mom has a
So was
fat
mine,
ass.
and she was
Oh,
skinny when
okay.
she birthed me. I had nothing to do with that. My dad just had terrible taste in women.
In
She
matter
has
of
bad
point,
genes is what happened.
in matter of point, my mom had a fat enough ass that now she's lost a bunch of weight. She keeps hurting herself on her own bones.
What?
I will say though,
Seriously.
those like super skinny chicks, man, when they like sit on your ass and like their ass bones dig into your leg, you're like, God damn it, eat
They
a
sit
fucking
on your
bacon
ass? What the
cheeseburger.
hell are you guys
They sit
doing
on your
going ass
lap.
to ass?
I don't know.
They sit on your
I don't know.
lap.
I don't know what.
and
I don't know
their
what this is.
They sit on your lap. my
Oh,
bad,
okay, your lap.
Okay.
And their ass bones dig into your
I'm just
leg.
eating
You're like,
popcorn
God damn
over
it,
here.
Eat a bacon cheeseburger. Anyways, how you doing, Dillard?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm very, very busy putting up more Christmas decorations. This is my favorite time of year. I love it.
But it's not Christmas yet.
Well, I don't want Christmas to show up and then I'm sans decorations and I look like an asshole.
Right, you can put
By the
Christmas
way,
decorations up after
You
Thanksgiving.
can.
You just can't start like playing Christmas music
What the
until
hell
the
is
week
this
of
guy
Christmas.
eating? Are you a hoagie?
What?
Huh?
Are you eating something, Church?
I was eating a pretzel. Yes, it was delicious.
But by the way, Dillard, that thing with that thing, I will have that for you soon. I've had to deal with some real life.
All right, I was gonna go see a guy about it, but okay.
Yeah, no, I got that thing.
All right.
Just
You gonna go see a man
Don't
about a
sell
horse,
drugs
Dillard?
on our show.
As long as you got that thing, I don't gotta go see a guy about that thing.
He's gonna go
We're
see
not
a man
doing
about some
drugs.
horse.
If we were doing drugs, we'd have a lot more money flying around.
Speaking of a lot more money, the Buckler over on Indiegogo, John Dillard,
Yes, sir.
$5,882 with 122 backers
Ooh,
as of right
I got
now.
another sale today. Then I didn't even know.
That is 1,176% of the initial $500 flexible goal, with 23 days left in the campaign, ladies and gentlemen. What you got to say
That's
about
good.
that, Dillard?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, oh, hot dog.
Hot dog, hot diggity dog. Don't strike me, Disney, please.
It's the godsend and a blessing. I was telling my wife because I was sitting there in a smoky room by myself,
Right.
stewing in my own head about the deep and dirty thoughts that I have on a daily basis.
Right.
While jerking
And
off.
she comes into the room and she's like, "Open a window. It's smoky in here." I'm like, "Fuck you. Get out of it.
Get out of here, woman. Go cook me a
And she's like-
sandwich.
And then she's like, "You know what?" Because I'm sitting there contemplating my life, right? And
Surprised
she tells
nobody's
me,
going to call
"Well,
me
how
on
much
cook
does
me a
this have to
sandwich.
make? How much does this campaign have to make in order for you to to make it worth your while?"
Mhm.
And I was sitting there, and that's exactly what I was pondering as I was sitting there.
Right.
And I thought to myself, I said, if this thing makes $6,000,
Mhm.
if it makes six,
So if it makes another
Then I'll probably-
$118, then it'll be like just completely out of the park for you.
no, it'll be worth my while. I'll make a book too.
Okay. All right. You heard it
which
right
point
here,
Do you hear
folks.
that, folks?
23 days to get this man another $118. If you can't do that, then what the fuck are you even doing here? Like, I'm not even asking for the money for myself. I want you to go give your money that I should have to John Dillard.
At which point, a man in a dark suit with an animatronic mouse head will appear and offer to solve all of John Dillard's problems in exchange for selling his soul to the mouse.
Somebody will show up with the black trench coat and solve all my problems for $6,000.
No. To punish Church for making Disney jokes, the mouse will appear and be like, Disney wants to present John Dillard's The Buckler, and then use the producer
John,
rights
be real. If Disney wanted to buy The Buckler, you'd sell it to him in a goddamn heartbeat.
It depends. If Disney comes at me sideways with like $6,000, I'll be like, well, go fuck yourself.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they got that Disney fuck you money, so their $6,000 would have like 4 extra zeros on it.
Disney fuck you money by giving away fuck you money.
No, they do. They really do, because they turn old bullshit into great.
It's true. They're very good at doing things like that.
We're gonna make the Buckler a smart alecky woman and a traditionally comic superhero.
Before we get too digressed into shit talk, I saw a Buckler hat on your Twitter the other day. What's that all about?
I had some Buckler hats made.
Why don't I have one?
Because they cost money, Church.
But I can give you money for a Buckler hat, John.
Well, if you really want a Buckler hat, you can head over to my Teespring and order a Buckler hat.
I can order a Buckler hat from your Teespring? What's the link for that Teespring, John Dillard?
I don't know. Teespring, John Dillard.
You're terrible at self-promotion.
No, I actually don't have them up on my Teespring yet. That's why I'm talking shit and stalling.
I'm gonna say.
No, I ordered. The thing is, what I did. I ordered 3 different hats. Right.
Okay.
I ordered from 3 different providers.
Right.
Yeah.
So I still haven't gotten the other 2 hats in yet. I want to wait until those come in so I can compare them.
Mm-hmm.
So that I can know where I'm going to be getting these from, because I want the very best hats.
You should DM me
this one
and we
I
can
really like.
You should
turn on my
DM me.
camera here. I'll show you.
You should DM me and we can talk price points. I can get you some Buckler hats made and shipped to you as well.
Well, I mean,
that's what I do for a living. Just in case you didn't know.
You could also, Dillard. I can go.
See,
buy
the Buckler's so
hats.
famous. He handles Buckler hat requests for a living.
That's right.
Well, I mean,
specifically Buckler hat requests.
I can go order a bunch of hats and Sharpies off of Alibaba and just write the Buckler on a bunch of cheap hats and mail them to you.
Well, I mean, this is the Buckler baseball cap. What we're going to be worried about is the Buckler beret.
Right?
That's
the issue. Okay, look, this is the hat. Right. This is the Buckler hat. This one, I really like this one. It came out pretty good. However, if you look, the middle portion of it.
Hold on, let me get you up on screen.
Okay. You let me know when that's happening.
I gotta add
some rum and eggnog here.
There you go.
Some rumnog.
Celebration, bitches.
That's right.
I'm very sissified. I can't take my liquor straight.
Oh no, that's not what I want. Cancel
How dare
that.
you?
Let's see. How do we?
This is a big mason jar. That's about 2 shots, right?
Cheers, Dillard.
2 ounces is 2 shots. It's basically a finger a shot.
That's a nog.
You don't have a jigger lying around?
What did you say on a public channel?
I said a jigger with a J, you asshole.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Matter of point, the last time I had alcohol was, I want to say, candy cane schnapps in hot cocoa.
There we go. All right, now you're on. Lick that thing again. That was good. That was good. I might get some donations. Lick it again. Man, you need at least
good.
You need at least 4
shots. Much rum.
Okay.
No, it's like a 2-in-1. Two parts rum, 2 parts eggnog, 1 part rum.
2 parts rum, 1 part eggnog.
That's a good combination. Dillard might get naked on this show, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, I'm already naked.
Ladies and gentlemen, shield your children's eyes.
Oh, I already put the not for children display on this show.
All right, so
you gotta go the other way. It's not shield your children's eyes. It's the number of nickels we have to toss to see you dance in.
Just throw me $5 bills. I'll pick them up with my butt cheeks.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me get my wallet real quick. I'll be right back.
So this is the hat. I like this one. I like it. I like the fact because it's embroidered.
Yeah.
And not only that, they don't have any kind of minimum you have to order. However, on the inside, you can tell that in order to get that embroidery over the middle line, they really had to bear down on it.
Mm-hmm.
The machine, which means that this part in the front is a little bit pinched.
Right.
So, not the biggest fan of that. So, this one I'm wearing. This is mine. So, this is not going to be the one I'm giving away. The one I'm giving away, I want it to look, perfect.
So, what you're going to want is a 5-panel, and it has that complete front crown. Like, it doesn't have a seam.
But I don't like that
crown.
puffy front crown, and I definitely don't like the snapbacks that have the high profile.
No, we're not talking about the old man trucker hats with the foam. They have new 5 panels that have the top. It looks just like that hat, but instead of the seam coming all the way down to the crown, the seam splits right below the eyelets, and it has just a space for embroidery that has nothing like stitched together in it. Basically, it's that hat.
It's not one of those hats that look like you live in like Vietnam, right?
No. No, it's not an old man trucker hat with the rope on it or anything. You know what I'm talking about? The grandpa hat.
I know what you're talking about. But what I'm talking about is I'm talking about those hats that look like they almost have like the panels that go sideways like this.
Yeah. No.
I don't like those.
No, you're talking about
like little Chinese boy hats. You know what I mean?
No, you're talking. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about a radar cap from MASH. Radar used to wear those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not a radar cap. It's just a 5-panel. It's a 5-panel trucker hat. It looks just like that hat. It has mesh in the back.
Oh, I like the mesh though. This one doesn't have mesh.
Yeah.
But I got another one coming, and I actually
I'll send you some pictures. DM me. Talk to me about it.
Okay, it's gonna have a logo on the side here.
That's fine.
And the last one's gonna have a logo on the back above the top.
You don't want to do that on mesh. Embroidery on mesh is bullshit.
Well,
you can embroider mesh.
You can, but it's terrible.
I don't even know.
You can, but it's awful. Nobody should do it. People want to do it all the time, and it's awful, and I hate them for it because it makes my life difficult.
You should hate them for it.
Because my boss comes to me and he's like, my boss comes to me and he's like, hey, why doesn't this look good? And I'm like, because it's a 1/4-inch letter on fucking mesh, you idiot. You've been doing this for 30 years.
What a moron that guy is.
But I'll send you some. I'll send you some options. We'll talk, John.
Please.
We'll get you some nice hats.
Because I want to get the ones that are going to be nice and primo, but affordable enough that I don't have to like put something up that's going to give everybody fucking a heart attack.
That's why we're going to talk about it in DMs. We're not going to talk numbers over the stream.
Good.
I'm going to leave your beautiful face up on stream. That seems to be the best way to do it.
All right, that's fantastic.
How we get the viewers. So the
the
buckler.
So essentially, the hat is going to be given away. Sometime around, I believe it's going to be May.
Okay.
John D. Rockefeller over here just giving hats away.
Well, that's why you have to show up to Scribbattle. I don't know if you guys have ever seen my show Scribbattle.
I have.
I have actually.
Okay, well, you have to show up to Scribbattle and you have to win, and whoever wins the most throughout the season, which ends in May.
Oh, you actually have to draw?
No, you just got to guess.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got you.
You show up, you make guesses. If you do well, you win, right? And I'm going to be taking the people that are in first, second, and third place, and I'm writing these names down.
Okay.
And whoever has the most consecutive total score over the course of the season wins the hat.
Okay.
Plus a beer opener, buckler beer opener.
Ooh.
There you go.
You have my attention now.
Yeah.
So pay attention and guess quickly, guess fast. That's tomorrow. We're doing that tomorrow.
Aw, shit. What time?
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And where's that going to be?
On John Dillard.
On my channel, Dillard Draws.
On John Dillard's YouTube channel, youtube.com/Dillard Draws.
YouTube, Dillard Draws. Be there.
So I have a question that is Dillard adjacent.
Okay.
I'm looking here at some stuff because while everyone else is talking and being funny, why not do some work around here?
Porn.
And you have porn. This no actual work, sir. My name's not McCartney. You did these this image. You have these final inks for Blue Phoenix. Was that just you being a solid and like doing some gift art for a guy, or is that actually going to appear in their book as well? Like, is that going to be in a back cover or something?
From my understanding, both.
Oh,
the thing was this guy Joseph Archie you're talking about. He runs the Blue Phoenix comic. It's actually funding right now on Indiegogo. I felt really bad for him, dude. Like I'm kind of an old hand at streaming, so I don't really get nervous or anything. And he had a shot. He was on with me on Malin's channel, and it was like only like a couple of times a year you get an opportunity like that to shill to that big of an audience, and he folded, dude. He was too nervous. He was stuttering. He couldn't get the words out. I was like, God damn, dude.
Yeah, it's rough. Yeah, you gotta be able to just kind of just sack it up and just be like, hey, I don't give a shit about any of these people. I'm just gonna do me.
Yeah, well, you kind of get that after you get familiar. It's almost like talking with a girl. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And also I got the very distinct impression this guy was new at that as well.
Oh well, no disrespect, no disrespect.
But, no, but I'm saying is he's not practiced at it, and kind of blew it. Like he was like so nervous that after he finished his spiel, he was like, "All right, thanks guys, bye." And John had to like stop him from leaving, so he could ask him follow-up. So I was like, I hit him up and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna do I saw him on another show, Wise Guys Entertainment. He was on there, and I hit him up and I was like, "Hey man, I'm drawing a fan art for you," and he was really interested in it and very grateful and all that. And I just told him essentially, you can take it, do whatever you want with it. He wants to make it like an alternate cover or put it in the book somewhere. Sweet. But I said, you know what, just whatever you want to do, just go for it. Just credit me, just say this picture by John Diller. That's it.
I mean, your signature's on it and everything already, so I mean, it's good.
Well, I did that for Rick Piper. He took my signature off. That asshole.
What the fuck?
You don't
That's not Christian Rick.
You got Canucked, motherfucker.
I did. I got Canucked the big time.
Like expressly, that is not how you do that. You leave the art intact.
I don't know, dude. That dude's like a super shyster. I love him to death, though.
Fucking Canadians, man. What are you gonna do?
you can't trust those maple syrup smelling fuckers.
Got cucked by a Canuck. What are you gonna do?
Those goddamn moose fuckers, I'm telling you.
They use maple syrup. It's lube, John.
Waffle. It's gonna get out.
You want me to pull that image up?
Yeah, I actually pulled it up, put it on the show suggestions for Church for Throw Up. But
it's a beautiful image. I wanted to make it look almost like because I have no intention of coloring.
I'm milking views off of John Dillard's beautiful face right now.
No, it absolutely needs to stay a black and white. Even though like you could color it, and it would probably look really good. The monochrome image has a real energy to it. It's pretty solid.
I wanted to make it look almost like. Are you guys familiar with that movie, The Ten Commandments, starring Charlton Heston and Yul Brynner?
Yeah.
I
wanted to give the guy a very Yul Brynner commanding pharaoh type look, So I shot it down from below, make him look powerful. And
you put it in the show suggestion, Joe.
Yes, I did.
God damn, that's beautiful, John. When are you gonna stop being so fucking talented?
I hope so.
It's really easy. I just got to get like a 1 or 2 more drinks in me, and then I'm a piece of shit like everybody else.
So you'll get down to my level then, right?
Paused.
Yep. Maybe not that low, but
I have
lower.
a screen grab here from the pause stream over here on my end. I think you'll enjoy it very much as it uploads
Look at this. Look at this. I'm gonna pull John Dillard's beautiful face down. Look at this fucking artwork, ladies and gentlemen. God Almighty. The shading. The deep blacks that are in this, the actual texture of the fabric movement, Like, that's something that a lot of artists can't fuck with.
Deep Black was my nickname in high school.
I bet after you took on the whole football team, right?
In matter of point, back in the day when I had way less money, I had the opportunity to get one how to draw book of quality for like serious trained artists, and the one I picked up was Bern Hogarth's How to Draw Dynamic Clothing Folds, because clothing is a bitch.
Clothing is a motherfucker. Also, you guys can hear my pretzels, but the stream can't, so don't give me shit about it.
Why don't you stop stuffing your fat fucking face with those pretzels, jerk?
Because they're delicious. They're rolled gold cheese pretzels. Fuck you.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, never mind.
But yeah, no, But yeah, in particular, the lighting inversion, how the sky is black rather than the sky is bright, and then the character has this light coming up from above, really works.
The only thing that I would change about it, John, the only critique that I would give is you should have Jack Kirby'd the sky up a little bit.
You mean little spots?
Yeah, did the stars and the galaxy shit in the background. I mean, you do it clean like your own style or whatever, but I've always negative space is good.
Digital, so I can still do that.
I mean, that's the only thing that I would change about it. But I mean, overall, like, it's a beautiful piece, and that black actually gives you a great space to put a title card in. So I mean, it's not necessary.
You could also do this Tarenko spiral effect. It would look really different, but interesting. But that would also
that was just a knockoff of Kirby too. Don't get it twisted. Yeah. Kirby did that when he went to DC.
Yeah, I'm just saying it exists.
I was watching. You guys are familiar with Gary Shipman, right?
Yeah.
No.
I was watching Gary Shipman's channel on YouTube. He's a comic artist, and he's fucking brilliant when it comes to just laying down inks, because he does all of his stuff in brush.
Okay.
And the guy has no fear whatsoever. He'll put down a big ass black mark right in the middle of the page. I'm watching it, and I'm like, Jesus, be careful. What are you doing? It work, and he's fantastic, and he does a lot of those little tricks with the ink and adding water and tissue paper and all that stuff, and he's pulling out different kinds of textures and everything with hard, solid black India ink. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's fucking fantastic. So I've been copying his stuff for a while, kind of emulating, when I do a physical page, like these pages behind me, or this one right here, like something like this. When I do these physical pages, I want them to really be like cool looking in person,
Right.
I try to finish them out as best as I can, not doing the whole, Xing out what I'm going to be filling in with inks. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just really just bring it to full life. And dude, that dude's books, Titan, Mouse of Might, and what he's doing over there, they're fucking fantastic.
Now that actually brings me to a question that I've wanted to ask somebody. You who do cross-platform media a lot, you do physical pages and you do digital pages side by side for the same book. Have you ever noticed that the availability of like gradient tools, like you can see a lot of like soft gradients and whatnot in this page that you did here? It's a digital piece. Have you ever run into problems where you have like inconsistent art because of these features in the digital media that you can't really emulate by hand? I mean, you can emulate it to a certain degree, but I mean, you can't make a clean gradient like that by hand.
Well, that's the thing. For instance, like if I were, all of these pages that I'm doing, even the physical ones, they get scanned in.
Right.
And I add to them once they go in there in the colors.
Right. Okay.
Before I color or something, I'll put gradients, black and white gradients and stuff.
Okay.
But if you show that picture that I was that Pharaoh picture that I had you were showing earlier,
it's still up on screen. I just put you in the corner.
Well, like if you zoom in on that motherfucker, like
I put you in the corner.
You can see
like
all the hatching is still there.
Oh yeah, I see all your cross hatching, especially like in the chest and in the necklace, and in the gauntlet. All the cross hatching, like in the crotch area, and all that stuff.
Has cross hatching.
Yeah.
No, see, I love the cross hatching myself. I prefer that.
Like all the shadow and the sphinxes behind him, it's all cross-hatched. It's all done by hand. I mean, when I open up a Clip Studio file, the drop shadows, I only put in after. I do everything by hand with one brush, and that's real G pen.
Okay.
So, and it's essentially the closest thing you can mimic an actual pen with, an inking pen. So they look very similar.
So you just do your solid blacks and your cross hatching in the physical media before you take it digital.
Oh no, I do that digital as well.
No, I'm saying like on the physical
on the do that. I cross hatch them all by hand.
No, I'm saying on your physical pages, when you do those, you get as far as solid blacks, cross hatching, and hard lining, and then you take it digital to do your shading and your colorization.
Correct.
Okay. See, I'm trying to make this somewhat informative for people that don't understand the process of being a physical to digital artist.
Sounds like a pain in the ass.
It is.
It certainly is. And this book that I'm working on is painstakingly, rendered.
But when was the last time
I want every single panel on this book to be like a cover?
When was the last time you did something, Ayrton, that was worth doing that wasn't a pain in the ass?
That's true.
That's fair. I mean, I finally finished that goddamn Photoshop project I was working on. It turned out fucking brilliant. So
you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, by the way.
Motherfucker's bitching at me because I'm giving him tips in Photoshop about how to make his layout look better. And he's just like, I didn't want a tutorial in Photoshop, but here he is, probably done twice as quickly as he would have been earlier, because he would have had to reformat 3 or 4 different times and then go back if I hadn't told him, do it this way and you won't have to reformat.
Yeah. Go fuck yourself. That was the first time I had ever used Photoshop.
He thinks he's so special, huh?
I am. I do this shit for a living.
Hey.
I am special. Special ed!
Because I drive a truck for a living doesn't mean I'm the greatest truck driver to ever walk the earth.
You should be.
Hey.
Motherfucker.
You at least have to give me props for Googling how to do the basic shit first before asking you stuff, right?
I do give you props for that, but I also give you props in being able to take suggestions without fucking it up.
Well, there's also that.
So, what do you want to talk about the buckler?
I don't know. I thought that you were going to interview me. That's why I came on here.
I've interviewed you like 6 times. This is your forum now, Dillard.
Now I got to interview myself. Hey, John, how you doing today?
Well, I mean, if you want to, but what I'm getting at is now that everybody knows what they're going to know about the buckler, why don't you talk to us about maybe future plans once you get that $118 that I'm sure you're going to get entirely from this show. Give no one else credit. It's going to come from this live viewing and all the replays afterwards.
All of them. Yeah, the future plans for the buckler. So what I kind of promised myself was if I make between 1 and 5,000, that I was going to be like, put this on the back burner, right? Still do it, but do it very, very slowly at my own pace and as a hobby, essentially. And then I said, if I make between 6 and 10, I'm going to do it just like I did at this time. It'll probably take about a year to get it done.
Okay.
But at a much faster pace. So that's what it's looking like it's going to be. And then I said if I made 10,000 or more, I'd actually drop some of my other side projects and do this and push this. You know what I mean?
Right.
And probably get something out every 6 months.
So what you're saying is we only need $4,118 to make you work full time on the buckler.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's 23 days.
So,
we can rustle that up. I mean, I can rob a couple
see.
of banks.
We'll see. A lot of people say that.
How many pieces of original art do I need to buy for that to happen?
You need to buy everything that's left.
Okay. All right. What do I get if I just straight up just Gmail you $4,000? Like, what do I get? Do I get a John Dillard twerking video?
I'll wax my butthole. You can do whatever you want with it.
I want you to send me the wax.
Why do you come on this show, John?
Because I love church so much.
He does. He does. It's a love-hate relationship. He loves to hate me.
So yeah, so
I thought you love him and he hates you.
What it's looking like is what's going to be is it's going to be like probably ending somewhere in the neighborhood of like 8.
I was going to say about 7.5, 8 is a safe estimate. Conservative estimate would be about 6.5. You know, well, it depends.
Conservative might be somewhere around the low 6.
That's what I'm saying. About 6.5.
6 and 5 cents.
No, 6,500.
Yeah.
You know, a good
$6,000
liberal
$6,005.
A good liberal estimate would be about 8,500. If it keeps growing at the pace it has been growing for the next 23 days, and you don't have that like midstream lull that a lot of people experience until that end of campaign catch up. But here's the thing: once the 23 days are left, you're in a flexible goal. So until you're ready to fulfill, you can leave this thing up and in demand.
That's correct.
So before you fulfill, you might be sitting on a happy 10K.
Maybe. We'll see. So what I'm going to do is what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up this book, get it out to everybody, and then immediately kind of start on book 2. Book 2 is going to be called, what did I have it? I have it set up over here. Give me a second.
You going to share a screen?
Buckler 2, Electric Buckaloo.
Where the fuck did John go?
He clicked the wrong button and disappeared.
He did. Well, he might have clicked the right button. I mean, have you been on the show?
Well, that's fair. Yeah. Yes, for almost 2 years now.
Why did you put a screenshot in the chat?
Because I thought it was funny.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, there's John again.
Okay.
Hello.
So what's the name of the Buckaloo? Is it Electric Buckaloo?
Damn it, what happened?
You clicked off of the chat. Yeah, you're here.
Oh, okay. Yes, I did.
Put some more rum in your eggnog, John. It'll be fine. You're doing great.
Let me take a
put some more eggnog in your rum, John.
Here, take a shot live with me on air. I got some pecan whiskey I'm drinking.
I mean,
I'm not taking no shots.
I mean, if we're doing
Your mama
shots,
takes shots.
I got some William Wolf pecan whiskey that I'm drinking. It's fantastic.
What the hell is that?
It's delicious.
It's
it tastes like pecans
pecans.
Yeah.
What?
I don't even like pecan praline pie.
That's because you're a communist.
So anyway,
I need to get some salted nuts because the last trail mix I received. No, seriously. Yeah, you can chuckle. I get it. You guys are 12, but I'm serious. No, the last trail mix I got was awful.
Oh, you got to get Cars trail mix. You got to get Cars sweet and salty trail mix. That's the best shit in the world.
The trail mix the trail mix
who may be listening, if you want some salted nuts, DM me.
That's right.
Twitter, Ayrton McCartney.
Ayrton's got you. Ayrton's got you on the salted nuts. No. Tell us about your trail mix, Joe.
It's only permanent because like my mom gets food from the food bank because she's a senior citizen.
Right. She has no legs. She can't run away from you.
Right. They gave us trail mix. It's like, oh wow, trail mix. I'm like, this is gonna be great. I love trail mix. And so I crack it and I have some of it. And not only is it all like soft and chewy and there's like no crunch at all, but it's like it's fruit all the way down. There's no nuts. There's no none of the body of a trail mix is
there. It was in
there.
a food bank.
Yeah,
you know they don't
use seasoning.
Probably wise. That is probably a wise
when I used to
argument.
get food from the food bank, my mom would get like powdered milk and shit.
Remember,
your lucky stars.
You ever get powdered peanut butter, John? You remember that shit? You had to add fucking water or milk to your peanut butter to make it peanut butter. Jesus Christ, that was the worst shit in the world. It was like government cheese was pretty fucking good. I'm not gonna lie, government cheese was all right.
What was it? Powdered. It was supposed to be like almost like those breakfast potatoes, like scalloped potatoes.
Yeah,
but they were all powdered.
Yeah, yeah. Like, motherfucker, I don't even have running water in my house. How you giving me all this powdered bullshit?
Guys over here eating fucking fruity trail mix, complaining.
Oh, well, no, yeah, but like what I love about it is we actually have so much shelf milk. Just so much shelf safe milk. It comes in little boxes.
Yeah,
we've got so much of it. So
you don't have to refrigerate it until you open it.
Yeah, well, so it's like you do not have to worry about buying milk because it's like, oh, we got shelf milk for days.
How does it feel to ingest that George Soros semen as you drink it?
I mean, it's better than dog milk.
That's true.
Better
I
than
don't like putting chemicals in the water that turn the freaking frogs gay.
I don't know. I'm not Canadian. I can't tell you what moose milk tastes like.
I'm tired of those fucking frogs stealing my girlfriend anyway.
Wait, gay frogs are stealing your girlfriend?
Are you still doing the?
Not anymore. They're gay now.
Are you still doing the Cyberfrog children's book, or is that on hold, or what's going on with that?
Oh, I was on Nasser's show with Ethan, and he was saying that was going to be put on the back burner until he finds a writer, which has been his number one problem from the get go. He still hasn't found a writer for it.
Why doesn't he?
So who knows if that's going to happen? Still, I don't know.
I'm not throwing shade or anything, but why doesn't Ethan write it? Didn't he write both of the new Cyberfrog books?
Well, he wants to do it in the all caps comic style, where it's essentially one of his characters, but he has nothing to do with it. You know, taking control of an extra campaign it's a chore, you know, and especially if he's going to be, you know, promoting this as a children's book kind of deal, he wants it separate because the real money makers are his actual titular character, his flagship character, which is the Cyberfrog main storyline. Because even something like Cyberfrog, the warts and all, didn't do anywhere near as good as the continuing stories, you know. Well, so those I think he's trying to get those kind of things and put them on other people to do for him.
Okay,
which makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of want to see this book you've invented by accident, Cyberflog. It sounds absolutely hilarious.
That's right. Cyberfrog.
Yeah, it sounds cyberpunk. I don't want to see that.
I was about to say Cyberpunk 2077 meets John Dillard.
the
penis is just a flog.
The inappropriate adventures of a catamist and his catamite.
And his cat of 9 penises?
That's right. 9 cats of 9 penises. Customizable, John.
Yeah. So anyway,
40
buckler,
whatever penises.
The buckler, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Number 2. I'm titling it The Buckler Number 2, Book 2, Segregation. And this story,
electric Buckaloo. You have to do that.
Yes, The Buckler 2, Electric Buckaloo.
That sounds good.
And this one's going to be called Book 2, Segregation.
Okay.
And this kind of gets his story, gets the buckler from where he's at to a point where he needs to finally make a decision on whether or not he's going to go full on enemy of the world or go the other direction. The whole aspect of trying to get his family back, this is where he needs to make his big choice.
Is this a self-insert, Dillard?
Yes.
Okay. Just curious.
Everybody keeps asking. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be?
Right.
I'm not a writer, dude. I got to write what I know.
Why would he not want to be the buckler? I mean, the buckler.
It's a self-insert, right? But I'm the inserted character. Also, 10-minute warning, guys. Gotta close up shop here in about 10. So, the floor is yours, John. The buckler, 23 days left. $5,882 on the campaign so far. 122 backers. What are you expecting out of this book? What do you think do you think the buckler is going to become the next big thing? Do you think it should become the next big thing?
No. Here's the thing. What I expect from this book is everybody that gets this book, and even the people that know the people that get this book,
are going to jerk off on it.
They are. They're going to be like, "Fuck me! This is the best thing I ever read. This is the best thing I ever saw. Why did this book not do as well as it? Why didn't this book make 7 figures?" And what's going to happen is book 2 is going to roll around, and it's going to be a firestorm.
Well, I'm looking at it, and it looks like for about $5,000, I can buy your book and original art tier out, and then spend the $2,000 to get the cover painting and everything else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, Ayrton, I'm going to need you to come down to Toadsuck, Arkansas, and we're going to need to knock over a bank.
Okay.
And
you just gotta, look at Aaron's pretty hair. You just got to put him in the corner for a couple weekends.
I've been trying that. It doesn't make as much money as you think it would. He's too nice.
Really
he doesn't get paid.
Actually, if
Ayrton's out there giving away freebies and shit.
I mean,
they don't want to put up 20 for a blowjob. It's like $7.
I mean, look, bullshit. If you're serious about this church, what I need you to do is I need you to come up here to Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a wagon.
Okay.
I've got a broken down wheelchair. I've got some lingerie I haven't done yet. I can get dressed up appropriately, and if you'll make sure that I don't get robbed or beaten. Okay.
Like, are you proposing that I pimp you out?
No. I'm saying put me on a street corner with a cardboard sign that says, please help support the Buckler. Right? I will hobo panhandle for the Buckler, and because I'm a little cripple boy, it'll be so pathetic. I've been told I would make a fair amount of money.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so,
I mean, John's regretting his choiuld right now. I can just see it by the look on his face. He's like, the things I do for shekels.
Why would John not want the support of the hobo army?
I apologize, John. I didn't know
what is the name of Sherlock Holmes's homeless network? The ones with the kids. What does he call that?
Isn't it just the homeless network?
Is it? I don't know.
I think so.
But I think he has another. No, he has another one where it's just the shady, like the Artful Dodger and the little shady kids that run around the neighborhoods.
Oh, okay. Does he call it something else?
I think he does. Yeah. Oh, the Baker Street Boys or something like that.
Yeah, the Baker Street Boys.
That's what I need. I need an entire network.
The street people, so to speak. The
Yeah,
Baker Street Irregulars. The Baker Street Irregulars. That's what it is.
I need a stable of street urchins that I can send out.
The John Dillard Irregulars.
They can pickpocket for me. They can put flyers in people's back pockets after they steal their wallet. Put a flyer.
Actually, pickpocketing is a racist term. It's cut purses. That's the
Winnipeg Wanderers.
There you go. There you go.
That's it.
But they all have to be midgets.
No, they have to be actual kids. I don't want midgets. Then you got to deal with like unions and stuff.
No, midgets. Propeller caps and a lollipop.
John Dillard's out here fucking union busting and shit.
Look, you've made it if Tyrion Lannister wants to be the face man for your organization.
Give me Tywin Lannister. That's who I would pick to play the Buckler in a movie. Tywin.
Well, really, Richard Dance, isn't he too old?
Yeah, he's too old at this point.
Richard
Dance in 1999 when he was doing what was that fucking movie? The Last Action Hero.
Last Action Hero, yeah.
Yeah, in that era, that would have been a decent Buckler, but he didn't have the physique
Get him
for
a
it.
bottle of Just for Men.
He didn't have the physique for it then.
Well, because I can totally imagine a scenario where the Buckler's like, I shot someone, I shot them on purpose, and like nobody cares.
No, you gotta get Stallone from that same era to be the Buckler.
No.
Adrian!
No.
Very good.
Adrian, I got antlers growing out of my back, Adrian!
No disrespect to Sylvester Stallone as a person, because he's actually very intelligent and capable, but some of his roles have an unfortunate patina of sounding like meat-headed idiots, and you don't want that for the Buckler.
No, I don't. He's actually very eloquent when he speaks. He's just not a big thinker. He speaks plainly, but he always speaks his truth. And his truth is, I'm the boss. I get what I want.
It's like if you guys want a good...
You got to cast for physique. Like, an actor should be able to act regardless, but you got to cast in physique. Christian Bale...
can't. There's no actors that have the physique. There's none.
Hello, I'm right here.
Wrestlers can't act.
I'm right here, you assholes. I drink enough and bang enough hoes to be the Buckler. Come on.
No, you don't. The buckler doesn't bang hoes. He just like is gravitated towards big titty women.
I mean,
he's not married. He does bang hoes, but
not on panel.
Suck it.
No, not on panel. Just the aftermath on panel. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you a panel here.
All right, share your screen.
Well, I haven't pulled it up yet. I'm not going to do that until I have it up here. Hold on.
Motherfucker, I know.
I'm not that unprofessional. Take it easy.
Look, let me see your porn tabs. That's what I really want.
Oh, that's on my. That's on a whole other window called incognito.
OnlyFans.com/John Dillard.
That's on Dillard's other private supercomputer.
You mean he could be running the 7 Days to Die server?
Okay, so here's a page that's finished, and this is kind of like the extent of the nudity that's in the book. If you're okay showing that kind of stuff, but
I mean, we are. YouTube isn't.
Okay, I'm sharing it now.
Dude, we got taken off of air for showing a cosplayer one time, Dillard. What are you trying to do to us?
Oh man,
no, that's cool.
Really?
No, it wasn't a cosplayer. It was a naked bitch. Don't get me wrong.
She was naked, but you couldn't see anything.
Well, let me know when you have it up.
Like,
I got it up.
Cheek. That was like it.
Okay, so this is an image the day after. He had that confrontation with that guy where he smacked him in the nuts and blew his nuts out.
Oh, they don't care about male nudity. This is fine.
Right. So this is he's butt naked. He's making himself some breakfast, but he's watching Harrington on the news, right? And Harrington's like, "We got exclusive footage of the buckler being an asshole." And then you get this, and when it shows down here, it's showing a scene. The scene of when he did that act, but it's from the perspective of the buckler's daughter's window, where Harrington was telling the buckler, your daughter's watching right now. She's up there looking at you. Don't do anything stupid. But it wasn't his daughter in the window. It was a camera he had set up because he was trying to give him the fucking okey doke. And then the buckler sees it and he's like, "This motherfucker!" And he screams, "Motherfucker!" But there's just these broads getting dressed in the room while he's screaming in the kitchen.
I remember that kitchen, for I have assisted with it.
Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much about as new. There's some nudity in the book, but it doesn't get much more indecent. There's no like Spread Eagle and shit.
That's right, Church. I'm cheating on the church. I occasionally drop in on people's streams who will have me, including Dillard.
It's not like I pay you.
Yeah, I know.
you can hear the betrayal in his voice. You can hear it.
I mean, he's actually working betrayal that doesn't exist.
Church
anyway,
is fucking furious. I can tell.
That's right. That's right. Fucking, you know what, RuneKnight? I got something for you. I got something for you right now.
Got something for that ass.
That's right. That's right. And it's not even what you think it is. You think you know what's coming, but you don't.
You think it's gonna be a penis? It's actually a vagina.
You think you want it, but you don't. Okay, Danny Sexman. But Church, you said you had something?
No, that was what it was.
You have Danny
Sexman? I have an erection for you, yes.
Yeah, but it's Danny Sexman's erection. Danny Sexman's a beautiful man. Why do you have his erection, Church? I think he needs it.
Because everybody shut up, and now I have his erection.
Everybody shut up! I have an erection.
Oh, you know detachable penis, John Dillard?
Oh Jesus!
I don't.
You know King Missile?
What about it? Everybody knows that song.
Do they? I don't think the people on the stream know that song. But anyway, final push. The Buckler. Why should people back this comic book, John Dillard?
Because it's the best comic book that's come out of CG.
Period. Ever. Pyramid.
Period.
Should we watch the thing as an outro?
This book is so good. I impressed myself, and I don't like anything.
Should we watch the video as an outro? Is that what we should do?
We should.
Okay. All right.
Should do that. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on to push the book, Dillard. I appreciate
you having me, Church.
And RuneKnight for coming. We're gonna have you back on before the book ends. It was a good time for you to be able to come on. Not a lot of other people are streaming right now, but
I get it. Book ends for a book. That's
right. But I appreciate RuneKnight and Ayrton to come on to discuss Morbius and why it was good and bad simultaneously.
Why it was bad.
But we're gonna watch the trailer for the Buckler, and then we're gonna get the fuck out of here.
All right.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Hit it, Johnny.
Come here, I'm going to tell you a story. A story you may not want to hear.
No,
a story that may hit too close to home. A story about a man who made the ultimate mistake. And a world that refused to give him a second chance. A story about the bastards that wanted him gone. And the love that he couldn't even contact. A story about the lengths a man will go to get back to the home he was forced to abandon. I want to tell you this story because you need to hear it. Because there's always a way back. But if you think it's going to be easy, you're wrong. And if you think you're ready for this story, you're not. Coming back is going to take everything that you don't want to give. And it's going to leave behind a trail of blood and bone. This is the story of the Buckler.
Good night, assholes.